Alright everyone, it's time for the final alt-tech video of the springtime season. I won't address directly the alt-tech sites that I'm on again until probably late fall or thereabouts, maybe November, December. I'm trying to strike the balance between making sure that any newcomers to the channel know that I'm on other sites, because not everyone, looks at the descriptions of videos on YouTube, and this is mainly for the YouTube audience that I'm doing this. And not pissing people off by constantly shilling, because some people don't understand that you've got to strike a little bit of a balance there. Most creators don't even talk about the fact that they're on other sites, and then they wonder why they don't gain more support on those sites and why the sites aren't growing. I choose a different tactic. I like to make sure people have options. This is about Minds.com. This is one I've been on for several years. I've got about 36,000 people following me there. It's a little bit more like, imagine if you took the better aspects of Facebook and Blogspot and combined them together with a little bit of a YouTube-esque sort of feel. It's definitely a thriving social network. It's actually got people doing things on it. I mean, let's face it, there are alternatives to like a Facebook or a YouTube that take hold, and then there are some that don't. Like BitChute is trafficked. Veo is not trafficked, or how VidMe ended up working out. Some of these other attempts. Minds is trafficked. Some of the other alternative social media networks have fallen flat over time. And that's just the way that it works. But it has a basic blogging function, video function. It's crypto and blockchain and all of these things. I don't even, in some cases, and this is the case with like Steemit as well, sometimes I don't even understand the full function of these sites because you have to use some other software in order to participate fully in a blockchain and stuff. I'm not really part of that generation. I support alt-tech for free speech purposes. The fact is that, and I've talked to the CEO, to Bill Altman. I've talked to him before. I think I interviewed him at one point a couple years ago. He seems like a far-out dude and has built a site that is, fairly high functioning. No downtime, really, no lag or anything, and you can pretty much do what you want. This is an example of the kind of tech that I like to support. A site that allows, it is a platform, a scaffold. It allows you to build your own piece of that site. Others choose whether to interact with it or not. They can be as friendly towards the content or as critical as they want. And people aren't banned for topical things like having the wrong political opinion. That's really all I want out of my alt-tech experience. And these sites, Minds is one of the sites that's helping to promulgate that, along with the others that I've mentioned, BitChute and Library and so forth. These sites, I think, are quite important to people. The problem right now remains that they're relatively unknown in some cases. Even people who themselves have been abused, like through Adpocalypse or they've been purged off Twitter or something, rarely mention these sites. And then they wonder why these sites aren't trafficked as much. If a few dozen of the major political content creators cross the web were to just have one day in which they have like an alt-tech fest of sorts to sign people up to these sites, some of them would double in size. They would be considerably more powerful. They would also then, by the way, get more attention. One thing that we saw is that a couple years ago, remember, when the legacy media was writing all sorts of hit pieces about YouTubers and alt-tech and everything, and evil Hatreon and these other terrible sites that empower Nazis, even though 99% of the user base was never a Nazi, what we saw is that these sites grew faster. That had the negative attention actually fed them, actually made them grow more. With the exception of Gab that has purity spiraled, I think, unfortunately, at this point. For the most part, these sites simply gained a large new audience and then chugged along from there. And this continues. At every time that there's a purge on a mainline tech site, alt-tech grows. People mention it more. People talk about it. I try to make sure that people know that these sites exist. For those of us who are mainly geared towards video creation, Minds is now more functional than it was, a year ago with regards to video. The uploading time is much shorter. The playback quality is much more stable. Now, I think they've raised the length as well, and you can, I think, have unlimited videos as long as you're doing their blockchain thing. I haven't tinkered with that because it confuses me. I'm afraid of doing something terrible. I'm afraid of fucking the website or something. I'm afraid of that the same I am mobile devices. I'm always constantly paranoid about them. I prefer the desktop experience. That's the other thing. Alt-tech sites, in many cases, are still more geared towards a desktop experience. I realize that can hold them back some, But for a creator like me, I think it's wonderful. I do believe there is a Minds app, if I remember correctly. Of course, I can't use it. I don't know how to use mobile devices. I can't make a phone call. I can't use the flashlight. Why do I even own a cell phone? I don't even understand. I'm just joking, but I do know how to make mobile videos. I can use Twitter on my mobile device now. Of course, I'd rather use Minds because, you know, you can actually post what you really mean and not self-censor. I think it's a wonderful feeling. So again, link in the description if you're on YouTube. I will also put the referral link in a comment there. When you take the referral link, I get Minds tokens, and that helps me boost my posts. So yeah, I'm going to be a little self-serving, and you should definitely sign up using that one. That's about all. Peace out.